It's Taco Tuesday again here on Left Off the Map, and I'm not doing tacos, I'm doing burritos. We're going to do a breakfast burrito and put it into a pocket, which makes it a lot easier to eat, especially if you're on the run. If you're having breakfast in the morning, you need to get going. These pockets are fantastic. Load your breakfast in there and eat it on the way. So I'm going to make, try and lightly sort of almost souffle some scrambled eggs. So I've got 3 eggs and some sour cream, a little bit of garlic, mix those together and then into a pan. There are 2 sort of different techniques you can use when creating this egg dish. You can go with the pan super hot and put it in there. It stays in for about 30 to 45 seconds. And you just fold it over a couple of times and then take it out. Or you can go with the soft, gentle heat. Just gently bring those curds together and just keep mixing and mixing and mixing. So I think I might try the gentle version. The fast version is great if you're in a restaurant, you're in service, you need to get things out quickly. But we've got some time, so I'll go with the gentle version. So 3 eggs into a bowl. So it's very similar to, or exactly the same as the way you would make scrambled eggs at home. But we're using creme fraiche or sour cream. In Mexico, it's called crema. All right, that's in, some sour cream, and then I'll just whisk those together with a fork. Add some salt. About 2 tablespoons, 2.5 tablespoons of our sour cream, pinch of salt. And then I'm just going to thinly slice 1 garlic clove. Put those in. Right, so we'll mix all that together and then pop it into our pan. Just keep stirring it and stirring it and stirring it. You don't want to overcook it. You almost bring it out before it's cooked because you want the residual heat that's left in the eggs to finish off your scrambled eggs. So I'll mix that together and then before we cook actually, we're going to do our bacon. So we're going to end up cooking our eggs in the bacon fat that we render out of our streaky bacon. So we'll start with the bacon, as we should. So pan on, into a cold pan we'll put the streaky bacon. We'll render that fat out and crisp that bacon up. And then we can cook in all that flavour that we render out of our bacon. So we'll cook those, turn them over a couple of times, take that out. I've got my oven on so I can put my bacon into the oven if I want to keep it warm, but everything should happen pretty quickly from there. So I'll prepare everything else. Avocado, thinly sliced, and you can almost set up like a production line on your bench here to put your burrito together. So my avocado, and then I'm just going to dice some tomatoes, which I'll put through the scrambled egg mixture right at the end to keep them nice and vibrant. Eggs are pretty much done. I'll pop these tomatoes in and then turn that off. You just want them set. And because we've got that sour cream in there and that bacon fat that we rendered out, there's a lot of flavour in those eggs just on their own. So my tortilla pockets have been in the oven, so they can come out now and we can start to build our breakfast burrito. Popping them in the oven just gives them a little bit of pliability and softens them up. All right, so our egg mixture. You can really smell the garlic, which is awesome. Load it up with eggs, bacon, probably halfway with the egg mixture, then put your bacon in. Avocado. And then I've got some coriander from the garden, which I'm going to pop in as well. And there, you've got a burrito ready to take on the go. You can take that with you, head off to work and eat it while you're going. There's no cleanup, no mess at the end. Everything is edible. So breakfast on the go with my fantastic breakfast burritos using the tortilla pockets, which makes things a lot easier. Henry Terry is visiting Craigie Knowe Patisserie, just outside of Swansea on the east coast of Tasmania. This unique offering is something that you would not expect at a vineyard. To have such splendid cakes and pastries to go with the oldest vineyard on the east coast of Tasmania.
Sinro, thank you for having me at Freixenet Coast Patisserie, part of Craigie Knowe Vineyard. It's really bizarre to walk into the cellar door here and see all these wonderful creations. I don't think I've ever walked into a cellar door and seen such amazing food on offer.
Yeah, that's why we create this idea, so people can try new stuff.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Well, you've definitely done well there. They look amazing. I've never really been one for desserts with wine. How do these go?
We create this dessert to match with our wine.
Yep.
So instead of having a lunch in the vineyard, you can also have an afternoon tea with our wine.
Okay, beautiful. And so tell me about the process of making this. I mean, there must have been a lot of training.
Yeah. We start at the Le Cordon Bleu, Melbourne.
Yep.
For my advanced diploma of hospitality. And at there, I learned the process how to make this.
Yep.
For example, for the raspberry cheesecake, I make a raspberry compost and put it in a raspberry cream and freeze it. And then I demold it. Then I make the cheesecake mousse and put the raspberry insert in it.
Okay, so we've got multiple layers in.
Yes.
So can we have maybe a taste and a look?
Yeah.
Sinro, tell me about like each of these dishes you've made to pair with your wines here at Craigie Knowe. Can you run me through what goes with what?
Yeah. The raspberry cheesecake goes well with the Pinot Gris. And we have the lemon tart to match with Riesling.
Yep.
And the Black Forest, we match it with the Cab Merlot.
Yep.
And the apple tart is really well with Rosé.
Rosé?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And brownie goes well with Cabernet.
Okay, beautiful.
And we have this milk chocolate cream eclair.
That has been taken.
That is for Chardonnay. So we have two with Chardonnay.
So, of all of these creations, which one is the signature dish?
So far, the top seller is the cheesecake.
Cheesecake, okay.
Yeah. And you follow with the Black Forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll have to talk. I'd like to sample all of them, if that's okay. Another question I've got, I noticed, is this, we're just beautifully sat out on the deck here. Do you guys live here?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Alex and I and his father, Glenn, we all live in this house.
Oh, cool. So very much a family-run business. The house is amazing. I can't help but notice it looks very... This is not an offensive thing to say, but it looks very old. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it... when was it built?
It was 1836, so it's 100 years old house.
It's, well, yeah, easily, and some more.
Yeah.
It's so old. I mean, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, built in 1836, the guys back then knew what they were doing. Right on top of a hill, overlooking the vineyard, sheep, green hills. I couldn't think of a better spot to sit back with a cuppa or a glass of wine with one of your creations.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Today I'm going to make a pudding with 3 flavours that I love, which will go together beautifully: lime, honey and mango. It's a steamed pudding in the oven. So we've got a pudding tray. First thing I want to do is bring together the half of my pudding base, and that's going to be done in a food processor. So I need about 400 grams, which is a quarter of a cup, 440 grams, sorry. About a quarter of a cup of coconut, desiccated coconut. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to add the coconut. I'll leave it there. I've just made that decision on my own, in my head now. I'll get the coconut flavour from my coconut milk. I think that with a steamed pudding like this, that texture of the grainy coconut through it, I don't think it'll work. So I'm going to leave that out. So start again with sugar. I need a cup and a half of sugar. Honey. Need about half or a quarter of a cup of honey, which is about 2 big tablespoons. Some lime juice. Just give these a roll on your bench before you cut them. End up making them a lot more juice in them this way. Squeeze that juice in. And I've got some butter, about 80 grams of butter, and it's melted butter. Pop that in. And then where I had my coconut, desiccated coconut before, I'm just gonna top that up with flour. So I need about half a cup of flour. I'm gonna add another quarter of a cup to that to make up for that missing desiccated coconut. Then I need to separate my eggs. So I've got 4 eggs. I need 4 egg yolks in here, and the egg whites I'm gonna save. I'm gonna make a meringue mixture with that and fold it through this batter. So you'll end up having a nice light meringue mixture, egg white mixture, being folded through a more dense cake mixture. And that's gonna make our puddings a lot lighter. Juice from my other lime. And then my coconut milk, I'm gonna add about a cup and a quarter of that. I may add a cup and a half. I'll just have a look at the consistency once I get through that. And bring all that together in a food processor, whisk it up, then set that aside, and we're gonna make our egg white mixture. So I'll get my stand mixer with a balloon whisk up some egg whites so they're nice and light and fluffy, and then bring those two together. So fold the 2 components together to make our pudding mixture. Then it can go into our tray. My egg whites are done. It was probably 2 minutes worth. We've got soft peak, very almost close to a hard peak there, which is perfect. It's nice and light and fluffy, which is really all we're using it for, is to make our puddings nice and light and fluffy. So I can take my base pudding mixture, pop that into a bowl. Now I want to fold through my meringue. Start with this little bit. And just delicately, probably a little bit more. Shall we do it in 2 lots, so half and then half? And just gently fold those 2 together. Once they're mixed, I'm going to pop it into, I've done a double batch here. So I'm going to pop it into, I'm going to put it in 2, but into your 600ml oven tray or roasting tray. And then in another one, which is a little bit bigger, you want to put about 2.5 to 3 centimetres of water so that the tray that you're baking your puddings in will sit in that water. All right, so I add the second half, keep folding, and then it's ready for the oven. Now the oven's set at 200 degrees. So we're going to get the top of our puddings nice and golden, but they'll stay really, really delicate and soft where that water is. Now the smaller puddings will cook faster, so they should be ready to come out. The water's going to be hot. The other one will take probably another 10 minutes. And then you just need to finish them off with a little bit of icing sugar dusted over the top. You've got that nice golden brown finish on the top. The pudding itself will be nice and light and fluffy and just cooked through thanks to that water. Now you can eat these on their own. You can eat them warm if you wanted to with a little bit of cream or some ice cream, or you can allow them to cool, even put them in the fridge and have them as a cold pudding. It's completely up to you. It's very, very versatile. But give it a go. You can make, like I said, little individual portions which you could put in the fridge if you're having friends around, and then serve those little individual portions, or a big one like I've done in there for a family dessert. We're going to finish this episode with something that everyone should have, some knife skills. Buying a whole chicken, even if you're not going to use a whole chicken to make a roast chicken, is a great way of saving a little bit of money, and you end up with many, many, many different cuts. For this one, I'm going to take off the Marylands and show you how to do that. So the Marylands are the leg and the thigh of the chicken, and they can come off in one piece. And basically then you're left with the crown and the wings. So pick your chicken up. So what you can see there is the leg here, which runs around and runs through there, and that is the bit that we want to take out. So if I just cut in there where gravity's telling me to cut, and all the way through. Once you get to the point where you hit a bone here, you're going to pop that joint like that, and it will easily pop out. Once that joint pops out, we're using gravity again to cut through that joint and all the way through, and that's how your Maryland comes off. And now we'll do the same with the other side. Now we've got the rest of the chicken, so we might as well break it down into its other parts while we're here. So, the wings. First thing you want to do with the wings is pop the joints. So cut around each joint like that, just to give you some ability that you don't have the muscle stopping you from being able to pop that joint. So once you've done that, you'll be able to pop the joint and the wing will come away. So there's your wing. Other side, same thing. And now, just to clean this up a little bit, I'm going to grab my chef's knife. I'm going to cut in. So I'm going to go in about halfway, then cut through. And we now have what we refer to as the crown. So breast on, sitting on top of this part here is the crown, and breast on. So, chicken breast. There's a line you can see here. Runs there. That little line. That's what we want to run our knife down. And whether this has been roasted on the crown or not, it's the exact same process. And as you run down, like so, and then you're just going to cut and sort of peel away. So there's our breast. Now, like I said, if that was a cooked breast, it would come off the exact same way. We do the same on the other side of that cartilage. Remembering that there is a wishbone here, so you've got to go one side of the wishbone. Nice and hard up against the rib cage. Work your way around that joint. And there is our other chicken breast. So we've got 2 breasts, 2 wings, and 2 Marylands. And that's the breakdown of our chicken.